Okay, hi there, and who is ready to meet the quadrilateral family? That is all the different types of quadrilaterals out there. If you were to have done the activities that you were supposed to have from the class Moodle, this one here, classifying quadrilaterals, and over here there was a quadrilateral quest, you would have been exposed to the basic quadrilaterals that you would be required to know and some of their properties. So what we're going to do is just go through some of those quadrilaterals again that you are expected to know, and we're going to make sure that we know their definitions. So we're going to start with the grandfather of them all. This shape here is a parallelogram. And in a parallelogram, opposite sides are equal, which is what those ticks mean, and parallel, which is what those arrows mean. So any quadrilateral that has equal opposite sides and parallel opposite sides is called a parallelogram. So for example, this shape here, most of you commonly know that as a rectangle. But because it has opposite sides parallel and equal, it is also a parallelogram. But what makes it a rectangle is that it's a parallelogram with right angles, which means right there the angle is 90 degrees. So a rectangle is a type of parallelogram. Same with this shape here, which is a rhombus. A rhombus is also a parallelogram. Because it has opposite sides parallel and equal, but what makes it a rhombus is that it has equal sides. And the last type of parallelogram is this little guy here, which you all know is a square. Now, a square is also a parallelogram. It has equal sides and right angles. So these are the major ones that you will need to know. And what's important to know is that all of these, the rectangle, the rhombus, and the square, are all just different types of parallelograms. The other quadrilaterals you'll need to know are the trapezoid, one thing I'll note, which isn't a huge deal, is that different countries call this a trapezoid and others call it a trapezium. Doesn't really matter. In Canada, we call it a trapezoid. It has one pair of parallel sides. So these sides here are parallel. This side and this side are not parallel, and they are not necessarily equal in length either. If they are equal in length, then it would be called an isosceles trapezoid. This one here is called exactly what it looks like. It is a kite. With a kite, it has two pairs of adjacent equal sides. Adjacent means sides that are beside each other. So these two sides are beside each other and equal. these two sides are beside each other in equal. So that is your quadrilateral family. What I'd like you to do is, in a minute, is to pause the video, draw in the diagonals of each quadrilateral, and examine the relationship in the diagonals of the quadrilateral. For instance, I'll show you the kite. Diagonals go from one corner to the opposite corner. So that is a diagonal. Let me get that a little bit straighter. That is a diagonal, and that is a diagonal. So you can see here that those are not equal in length. They are perpendicular, and they do not bisect each other. Bisect means cut in half. This long one cuts the short one in half, but the short one does not cut the long one in half. So take a few minutes and draw in the diagonals for all the quadrilaterals and fill in these blanks. Then after that, what I'd like you to do is to try to find the one quadrilateral that meets each of these characteristics. For example, what one quadrilateral has opposite sides parallel and equal in length. So pause the video, answer the two tasks, the diagonals and the what am I, and then come back to the video to check your answers. Okay, welcome back to the video. If you drew in your diagonals, don't forget to write in your symbols such as the tick marks to indicate equal line segments and the little square symbol to indicate perpendicular. So if you want to check what they should look like for the parallelogram, the rectangle, the rhombus, and the square, you can pause at any time to look at it for longer, and the trapezoid and the kite. So here's the answers that you should have gotten for these questions about the diagonals. Again, just to reiterate, an isosceles trapezoid is a trapezoid where this side is equal to this side. And again, you can pause the tape to take a look at them any longer, but the next is the answers to what am I. So any of the answers shown would have been acceptable. For some, there was more than one possible answer, and for some, there was only one possible answer. So you can pause the recording to take a look at these longer. Otherwise, put a little star beside any of the ones you don't understand and ask your teacher in class tomorrow or the next day. Thank you for watching and have a good day. Bye-bye.